Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. Today we're gonna make some people angry. No, I hope not. Got a good video lined out. We're gonna be talking about the top 3 concealed carry handguns of 2021 that are available to us right now. I know there were some things came out in SHOT Show. I didn't see a whole lot that's actually gonna take over one of those top 3 spots. So these also apply to last year. So don't expect anything brand new here. But in today's video, you're going to notice a common theme. And I think that is warranted by certain social environments, certain social aspects that have became more prevalent, such as the group mob mentality that we've seen kind of start to become the norm. You know, all the riots and the protesting and the things that just got out of control. And yeah, I've got you kind of close to me here today. I'm sitting down where I'm hiding my picks here behind me so you don't see them. But you're going to see a common theme amongst these guns, and keep in mind this is completely subjective. This is completely my opinion. But as far as practicalities, and now this is going to be a category to where it's, you know, your everyday carry, something that you're going to carry most of the time. Far be it from, you know, the pocket carry where you got to have deep concealment, the woods carry. You know, there's certain scenarios to where, of course, you're going to deviate or would like to or will want to deviate from your standard everyday carry. But this video is geared towards your mainstay carries. If somebody came to me, didn't own a gun, was going through their concealed carry course, all that, and said, I need a concealed carry gun, what would you recommend? Today, I would recommend one of these 3. The first one is the clear concealed carry gun champion that a lot of people recommend, the Sig P365. Now, yeah, I will admit that I've had some issues with the finish on this gun, and I think I've seen reports of a lot of people have finish issues with 365, and mine could be attributed to the holster. I don't think they completely are, because as you can see here on the rear of the slide, the finish is starting to come off. Heavy finish wear on the front. I've talked about this before in another video. And you know, the front, I could chalk that up to holster issue, but I don't think up towards the rear sight there's no holster there. That's just every day rubbing against your shirt or whatever I may brush against, whatever, and the finish is starting to fail there. I know, like I said before, I got a good friend of mine had a 365, and his finish failed. I would consider a catastrophic finish failure. The holster that I carry most of the time is one of these. It's just a standard lightweight, super simple Kydex holster. I really like those for this category of guns, just for the ease of getting on and off and keeping the gun in the holster. I really like those. If I'm not carrying it in that, I'm carrying it in a hybrid style with the Kydex and the leather backing. So either way, there's Kydex implemented into this gun. So we'll just talk about it for just a second. This is a double stack firearm. It is your standard striker fired, polymer framed, just the common thing you see today, and probably a common theme you're going to see today on the video. One thing I like about this is, for me and my big hands, the controls stay out of the way. I don't have a lot of issues with the slide locking back or the slide not locking back whenever I want it to. I don't have any issues with things of that nature. And like I said, I have fairly large hands, and with the flush fit mag in it, I swallow this gun. So I don't get as good as a grip as I would essentially like. But I mean, let's get real here, guys. This is a very small handgun, and it carries 10+1. That's tough to beat for something this small. It has good traction. The sights are great. That's something from the factory that Sig does on these, and they hit it right with that. It's got good sights, got tritium in the rear, and you can see it's cleared, but tritium in the rear, blacked out rear, and then it's got a yellowish, greenish surrounded tritium front sight, I don't know who makes these, but they're good sights. So let's load this thing up a little bit. Oh yeah, today I'm going to be shooting all steel case ammo just to show that these guns are also reliable as well. All steel case, cheap stuff. None of the guns that you're going to see here today have had any issues. But let's load this thing up, take a few shots with it, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so we got our 365 loaded up here. Got 10 rounds in it. Let's see how we do. All right, so for the second pick, like I said, you're going to see a common theme. You could probably about guess which one it's going to be. The Springfield Hellcat. Now, I'm going to recommend this one in the OSP version because that red dot really makes or breaks this gun for me. As you saw, if you watched it, the original 365 versus Hellcat video, when I didn't have an optic on it, I didn't shoot this one as well as I did the P365. I don't know what that attributes to because the gun actually feels a little bit better in my hand than the 365. But as you'll see with this one, pretty well common controls. No safety as with the 365. Now on this one, you can see the control sets fairly farther towards the rear for the slide lock. I do have a huge tendency to ride that slide lock and I'll get a click instead of the slide locking back on an empty magazine. That's very common for me. I do it a lot with this gun. Is that an issue? I don't know. This gun does hold 11 rounds. So again, kind of the same theme that you've been seeing. This gun also came factory with pretty good sights. There's no tritium in the rear of this one. There is tritium in the front. Try not to point it directly at my head, even though I know it's empty. But to me, the front side on this one stands out a little bit more than the one on the Sig. But as I said, there's no tritium in the rear. Now with a red dot on here, it doesn't really make a difference. So the red dot that's on here is the Sig Romeo 0. Now I do have a little treat. I'm gonna slide in a nugget here for you. I have this, so keep an eye out for a video reviewing this. This is the new Hex Wasp. It's their micro red dot, and I think Springfield has licensed this. Yeah, it says right here, by Springfield Armory. So we'll see how it mates up to the Hellcat. It's got the same footprint as the Zero and a few others out there, but to me, I think the red dot option on a gun that small with that much capacity, that's really tough to beat. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot more about that. Let's just load it up and take some shots. So I've got 11 rounds loaded in this one. I am running the flush fit mag. Let's send some down range. There was that issue with the slide stop. I'm bad for it with this gun. So before I move on to the third and final top 3 carry guns, I should have showed you this. This is for the Hellcat, and this is what I was talking about with the hybrid with the leather backing and the Kydex cup. And this one is from Alien Gear. It has the molding here for a red dot sight on it, so that's pretty cool. I'll generally run that style of holster or the other one I showed you, like this one that fits the third gun, the third and final, and this is nothing new, the Glock 26. This is a tough to beat gun. It is a little bigger than the other two. Let me just grab the 365 here and give you an idea. You can see it's a little bit bigger this way, not a whole lot bigger this way, a little bit but not a whole lot. But here's where it gets you. The Glock 26 is quite a bit thicker than the other two, but man, for a concealed carry gun, this size that holds 10 rounds plus one. I shoot this gun better than the other two, hands down, no question about it. And you know, with iron sights, I just shoot it well. I shoot it like a mid-size or a full-size frame firearm. I would say if I if I was forced into picking one of the three and that was the only carry gun I could carry for the rest of my life, Glock 26. No safety. I don't have any issues with the control on this one. I don't have a problem with the slide locking back. And like I said, that's something that's me. That's not the gun's fault. That's just the way that I grip a gun. Some of them I do better with on that than others. I'm too old into this to be changing my grip, so it is what it is. I'll deal with it. Now, I mentioned sights there a minute ago, iron sights. That's one of the big downfalls of virtually any Glock. Some come with better sights, but factory Glock sights kind of suck. They kind of suck pretty bad. I just call them dovetail protectors because they're, as soon as I get one, if I'm gonna put it into any use, the sights are coming out, putting something else in. These are the Trijicon HDs, blacked out rear, tritium in the rear, and a very, very visible front sight with tritium in it as well. This is probably my favorite set of iron sights out of all three, but they're aftermarket. I had to pay for them. So price points, we're in the same ballpark across the board here, anywhere from the 500-ish range to six and a half. So price, there's not a big difference. But when you start adding night sights, $120, $130, then you start adding to the cost of the Glock. But to me, it is what it is. It's one of my favorite carry guns. So let's load it up and take a few shots. All right, so I got 10 rounds loaded in the mag. Let's roll. Man, I don't know if you could tell it or not through any of the shooting clips that you've seen, but even the recoil, going from those two firearms to this firearm, the recoil impulse it's a lot more mild in this gun. And we're shooting the same ammo, same distance, same targets. I started going a little fast, so I had a few misses there, but I really like the Glock 26. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. Let me know what your top 3 favorite concealed carry guns of today are. And hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay tuned.